But before she can move on to the next stage, Nigat needs to explore Monty's big idea for her dream garden. So she and Cowser are off to Hampshire to find out how they can turn their tiny plot into a productive paradise. Chapel Cottages is a working forest garden filled with edible and sustainable plants. The owners, Maddy and Tim Harland, are eager to explain how it all works.
Wow.
What we're trying to do with the forest garden is to emulate the different layers of a native woodland, which has a top canopy, middle canopy, and ground cover.
So you think about a natural woodland and how a natural woodland grows and all the niches and where the light is, and then you swap it for edible, useful or medicinal plants.
One of the problems I have is there's not enough light in the plot I have.
One of the tricks of forest gardening is that you have to plant at the right distances. So if you're doing it from scratch, you have to think, what will the mature canopy of that tree be?
Nigat's plot is not identical to this one, but she can certainly use the same principles to achieve her dream.
If I was going to grow vegetables, I would want to do it something like this, near the shed, in a raised bed, in a no-dig system.
So if I'm starting from scratch, how do I go about it?
When I'm starting on top of grass or weeds, I would actually do a whole layer of cardboard to totally suppress the weeds. And then on top of that, I would add garden compost, manure. You're not double digging. You're not forking over the plot every spring before you plant.
Chapel Cottages also employ natural methods of pest control.
Slugs have delicate creatures and they don't like crossing grit and spiky things. We save all of our eggshells and we break them up. I've got charcoal here. They don't like climbing on charcoal, so we'll put the barbecue leftovers on it.
And trees are used as a natural framework for growing.
Here's a great example of an Oregon thornless blackberry, which does well in a woodland-type environment. It's using the apple tree there as a framework.
I think that's a really good idea.
Although it's a challenge to create an edible forest garden, Maddy and Tim rely on certain plants which thrive in these conditions. Apples, pears and figs can be grown between the taller canopies of trees. Shade-tolerant soft fruits such as currants and Japanese wineberries flourish on the woodland edge. Mint or wildflowers work as excellent ground cover. But Nigat is already worrying about getting it right.
What if I get it all wrong? Because I think I've bought these plants which may not be appropriate for the area. I just bought them because I like them. There's no harm in experimenting.
No, we experiment still and always trying to push the edge of possibility. But sometimes you have to admit when you're beaten and nature wins.
Yes. One of the things I'd like to take back from this is the stacking of all the trees, the shrubs and the ground cover. I think it's brilliant. Some of the plants, I'm not so sure what the names are.
We need a long list of names, definitely.
Oh my gosh, that means shopping. Are you going to come and help me shop?
I will try my best.
Which means you won't.